Hey guys, it's Ken from OK Portugal, and well, I'm here with Joaquim and his trusty Ford tractor in the background. We're actually waiting for someone to come with a bunch of compost that they're going to be putting on our field. And Joaquim has just been showing me his tractor here. He's got this sort of fork attachment on here. He was saying that it's been out of action for a while. This is a sort of a piston or a hydraulic piston arm, and there was a little bolt that was broken and he had to wait a long time for it. So he's been without his tractor for a while. But yeah, this is his Ford 4630. It was out of action for a while because it had a clutch problem, it had all sorts of stuff, but now it's working 100%. And I just want to show you, well, before it starts working, today he's put a whole bunch of weights on the back, and he was just telling me that these weights are there. I thought that the weights were there so that when he lifted something up the tractor wouldn't tip. Apparently it's not that. The weights are there to stop the wheels from spinning, to add weight on the back. And also, speaking about wheels, he was saying that he's got to get a new set of tires soon. Apparently the tires for a set of tires is going to cost 3,000 euros. So these are some really expensive tires. But he was also saying that these tires are filled with water. So they actually fill them up to about here with water. And what that does is it obviously gives the tractor a lot more weight when it's, driving through a field, and basically gives it more traction. So in my last farm life video, I was basically saying how the fields weren't quite finished because of all of the problems with Joaquim's tractors. I was kind of expecting it to happen in around spring, but it looks like it's going to be happening today. Joaquim's just been waiting for another guy who's just down here in a big John Deere tractor, it looks like, and he's going to be spreading the compost. Right, let's get to the action. See them loading up the compost, and this will be the stuff that goes onto our fields. There is a lot of this material. Obviously Joaquim's got over 100 sheep, and these sheep are obviously constantly making a lot of mess. So here we go. Joaquim is putting this inside the back of this trailer. And the way that these trailers work is they have like some kind of like a rolling floor. So the floor actually shifts along this way, and at the back it's got these rollers that basically roll and spray all of the compost out the back. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but there is steam coming off this because it's really hot. It's busy composting, so it's actually really hot. Look at that, there's actually steam coming out there. Let me get out the way so I don't get flattened by a tractor. Yeah, this is good stuff. When the bacteria are breaking down and composting this, it basically makes the heat rise, and that's why we're seeing all of that steam come out of there. So let's have a look at this tractor. This is a John Deere 6230. It's quite a lot bigger than Joaquim's one. I think you need quite a lot of horsepower to run these compost spreaders. And yeah, this thing's got some big tires, 4-wheel drive by the looks of it. Yeah, this is a big tractor. Wow, that's amazing. I wonder, this thing on the side here, I'm guessing this is the fuel tank. I'm not sure. I think they probably put the fuel tank there because if the fuel tank was up there, this thing's so high up, it would be difficult to fill. But yeah, anyway, it looks like he's nearly finished there. We have a gigantic pile of sheep poo, so we got lots of the stuff. Look at that. We got some more that's not so fresh all over this side over here. And yeah, I reckon this is going to be really good for our fields. Obviously we grow lots of clovers and green manures and stuff like that also put stuff back into the soil, but it is also good to add fertilizers and compost and natural stuff. So this is Joaquim's old compost spreader. It's the one that about 2 months ago he was using on our farm. you can see how we've got a chain going over here. This chain actually rolls the floor. So I don't think it rolls to the floor, it looks as if it shakes the floor. And as it's shaking the floor, it's pushing everything to the back. Obviously these sides are usually up, and this is full of compost. And then these things are spinning outwards, and they spray everything out the back. It looks like they're done, and they have a giant steaming pile of sheep poo ready to go. Yeah, look at that. You can really see the smoke or the steam coming off that. You can see just how hot it is. I'm kind of tempted to, but I don't really want to put my hand in there right now. Don't have anywhere to wash it. All right, I better race back so we can see the spreader in action. I think they're going to beat me to it though. This is a big tractor. I really hope it's going to fit through. It's quite huge, and our front gate is quite narrow, so I think we're about to find out whether or not you can fit a huge John Deere tractor through our front gates. I hope it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, this guy definitely knows what he's doing, but shame, yeah, we have a bit of a problem for him. And also it's probably not good that I'm standing here with a camera as well while he's trying to do it. Look at that. Jeez, that is some precision driving there. I tell you, these guys with their tractors are so good here. Wow, I can't believe that he's made it through this tiny gap. All right. I wonder where they're going. I think he's probably going to start at the back then, by the looks of it. Which way is he going? Right, and there it goes. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to dump each of these loads, but look at that. And we can actually see just how hot all of that stuff is. I mean, look at that steam just erupting out of there. That is wild. So a couple of weeks ago, Joaquim was here. I think it was in October, and we're in December now. He was here with his compost spreader, but it broke down a couple of times. But this is the spot where it broke down. So he would basically bring it over here, and it would spin for a bit and some compost would land. And you can see the huge difference between where the compost has landed and where nothing's landed. Now, I mean, obviously the compost is a lot more fertile, but also bear in mind that it's sheep poo and the sheep have been eating grass. There's probably lots of seeds in the poo as well. So I'm not sure if it's the fact that the compost has fertilized it or whether it's the seeds, but you can see a big difference between the two areas. That's just cool to see. Hopefully we're not in the way here, but look at this. I mean, that is a real tight fit, and this is a very long trailer to be getting out of there. I have to do something about this gate for sure. Geez, that is some pro level driving right there. Basically, when we first moved in here, we had to get big stuff in here, and so what we did, because we've got this gate over here, and this gate is only, I don't know, like 2.5 meters wide, we had to take a piece of concrete out. This piece over here, we had to knock this down so we could get something in, and then after we did that, we had to put this post in so that we could shut the gate, you know, and our dogs wouldn't sort of run out and escape. But it's not a great solution. What I really wanted was I wanted a post that I could lift up and remove so that if we needed to get big stuff in, we could do that. Unfortunately, this has been cemented into the ground, so yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Now, Joaquim was saying to me that he's built some nice stuff for his farm. So Joaquim does like welding and metalwork and obviously building. He's a very handy guy. Look what he's made. So on this thing over here, this field had gates that used to open this way and this way. And he basically welded them shut into one big panel, and then he put down some concrete over here with a rail, and then you just take this out, and then you can just slide it, and you can just push it with your fingertips. You know, it's on this rail here, so really, really nice. It's on that bottom rail, and then it's also on this top piece here, and so a really nice solution. And also what's quite nice about something like this is you can put a little motor on there, so you can have an electric gate. So earlier he was basically saying to me that if I can get a gate that's big enough to fit into this space, that he's going to give me a hand to basically do the concrete and actually fit everything and set everything up. So that's something that I'm going to have to look into, because it's going to be a gigantic gate. It has to cover from this side all the way to that side. So what's that? It's like 3.5 or 4 meters. So I have to see if we can get something made, and then yeah, it'll be quite a nice addition to the farm. At the moment, every time we arrive, I have to hop out the car and open up the gates. It'd be quite nice if we had something along here that just slid across and we could just press a button to go in and out of the farm. Right, let's go and have a look where this compost has landed. Joaquim and João, they're just collecting another load there. And here we can see a big difference in the color of the soil. Now, this is lying on top at the moment, and what's going to happen after all this, he's going to come back with a tiller and they're going to till this all back into the soil. It's going to be nicely mixed. It's weird because, you know, we are in winter at the moment. In the morning I am waking up and there are frosts and things like that. But yeah, Joaquim says he's going to plant the seeds. He was saying he's going to do a mixture of 3 seeds. He's going to do rye, oats, and the other word that he used actually translates into holm oak, and it obviously can't be holm oak. He's not planting oak trees, so I'm not sure exactly what that is, but he was saying that he's doing a mixture of 3. And yeah, and I asked him if that's going to be affected by the frosts, and he said no, it should be fine. So we'll see. You know, if anything, there are so many seeds in the sheep poo that even if those seeds don't take, the seeds that are sitting in here will actually germinate when it comes to springtime, as soon as it gets warm again in the next couple of weeks, really. That's one of the nice things about Portugal, is it has 4 very distinct seasons. So winter really does only last 3 months. In fact, the coldest part of winter, because we're in winter right now, but you know, most days we have blue sky, lots of sun. The coldest part of winter is really January. So you have one really cold month, and then the rest of it isn't too bad. And then obviously it goes straight into the spring. Usually spring you have lots and lots of rain. So that's when we're going to have like our rainy season. And then you have the summer, and then the summer just arrives in all of its glory, and then you get up to like 40 degrees or 105 Fahrenheit, and you have these absolute scorcher days, these heat waves, and all the stuff I love about living out here. Hey, look who's turned up. It's Gina. Look, even we struggle to get our little golf through here. Hello, Speens.
Hello.
How's it going?
All right.
Did you have fun at gym?
Yeah.
Joaquim's here. He's spraying sheep poo. So yeah, I think he's just about to come around the corner. Oh. He's here with one of his friends, João, who has a tractor and a new compost spreader. So yeah, you better get your car out the way. Oh, thanks. Cheers. Here we go. We have another load, another hot steaming load of sheepy goodness. I tell you what, man, I'd be stressed if I had to drive this tractor through this tiny little gap. Wow. That is amazing. Good job. I reckon you're going to find that these guys have been driving tractors probably since they were like little boys, you know, and so they know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly how to drive these things around like surgical tools. Right, so it looks like this front field's now done. What a huge difference. You can see it's got quite a nice even spread going through, and then again, as I said, it's going to get tracted into the ground. We're using a tiller. Now he's just starting on the next section over there, and then working his way down. So Joaquim's sheep, they don't only produce milk, they also produce lots of poo, and that poo goes back into the fields and helps to make the grass that they eat. So it's a nice little cycle, really. Right, let's pack my bags up and go and go to where the tractor is. Right, let's catch up with the tractor. He's already done this piece over here. It's amazing how fast it is. I'm just using my little e-bike to get down there. This is one of the coolest ways of getting around on your farm. This isn't an ad for this bike, but I must say that this is my favorite bike. Hello, Eddie. Eddie, what's going on? Is there a strange tractor in here? There's a strange tractor? You're supposed to be defending the farm, and you're behind a fence. Wait, and what are you going to do? This is Edmundo, our Serra de Estrela. Yeah, so Eddie's very concerned as to what's going on with this tractor, I think. What is that tractor doing? Huh? What is it doing? Don't worry, I've got it under control, my boy. Yeah, I've got, I was given this bike by Engue, and they've actually given me a code. If you want to buy any bike off Engue, type in OK Portugal. I think it's all in capitals as the coupon code, And yeah, and you get a nice big discount off your bikes. I think I also have like an affiliate link, and I'll put that into the video description below. But if you want to know what my absolute favorite bike is, let me just climb off quickly so I can show you. It's this thing over here. This is the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0. This actually wasn't supposed to be an advert for the bicycle, but it is so awesome. Check it out on their website. I'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, this is my absolute favorite thing for getting around on the farm. Cool. So we're starting on this section over here. And you could already see the big difference between, well, the ground on the left and then this. And also the ground on the left at the moment is it's actually damp, so it's also looking quite dark, but obviously not as dark. Now look at that. So it does look quite nice, but it's obviously not as chocolatey brown as sheep chocolate, the forbidden smelly sheep chocolate. Look how nice this olive grove is looking. Obviously the sun's gone behind a cloud now, so you can't really see the shadows and everything, but it's so beautiful sitting in here. We used to have a little swing seat just over here. Oh, hello Gina. Are you throwing away some bad water on this side so it doesn't mess up the grass?
You can't see it.
Yes, but now it's on camera. We can see what you're doing, Gina. We know what you're doing. That's disgusting. What's wrong, Eddie? What's wrong, my boy?
Eddie wants to go and play with the tractor.
Oh, okay. Does he want to play with the tractor?
Well, I think what he actually wants to do is roll in sheep poo.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what he wants to do. He loves rolling in sheep poo.
Well, mimosa more so.
Yeah.
I think that will be our next walk. Will be a constant. No.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's quite stinky.
Yeah, this whole area has been growing pretty quickly. We've had some nice warm weather, so the grass is like, I've had to keep cutting it. But we're sort of entering that time of year where it's going to get really cold and then the grass is going to completely stop growing until spring. But for now, it's looking quite nice, eh? And last year what I did was I actually just let the grass grow in between here, and then Joaquim came and cut it and baled it up. So it gave him a couple of extra bales. Obviously not the highest quality stuff. It's not like rye and oats and all of the stuff that he puts into the regular fields, but you know, it's still got some stuff for his sheep. Memes. This is Mimo. She's our other doggy, and she's a real cutie. Come here, Mimo. Come here, Mimo. Hello. Hello. No. And yeah, I think they're a bit bored. Are you guys a bit bored? We will take them for a walk, but we just have to wait for the sheep poo to go down first. And then, as Gina said, what they're going to do is they're going to roll around in that sheep poo and get nice and smelly. And then they're going to come inside the house. And then they're going to make our house all smelly. But this is part of farm life. Is it a nice scratch? Oh, it looks like a nice scratch. The best. While we were waiting for João to arrive with the compost spreader, I was just chatting to Joaquim, and he was telling me that he's been on his farm, this farm here from us. He's had it for 27 years. He said that before that he was working, he was driving buses, he was also a butcher, he was doing a whole bunch of really interesting stuff. And then he bought this farm 27 years ago. He had, he said, between 40 and 50 sheep, and there was no electricity. Every single morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, he was in there and he was milking by hand on his own. Fernanda, his wife, who helps him out with milking and stuff now, she was working on something else. I can't remember exactly what he said. But yeah, so 27 years, no holidays, you know, doing it all by hand, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, like now, I think is more luxurious for him. You know, he's got like electric milking, so it's easier. He's got a lot more sheep. I think he was saying he's got about 150 sheep or something like that. But still, I mean, to think that he was doing 1/3 of the amount of sheep that he has now by hand, and you know, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to start the milking because it takes so long. And you know, 27 years, no days off, no holidays, but he loves it. You know, when you speak to him, he absolutely loves it, and you can tell that he wouldn't want to be doing anything else at all. Right, we have another load incoming, and I guess that's going to go further onto that bottom field. They're probably going to come up here and do this section here last. You know, and I say that now, but I probably got it wrong. He's probably going to come here first. Yeah, look at this, man. This is a nice view, you know, to think that, I don't know, like 10 years ago, today I would be sitting behind a desk, looking at the clock and trying to figure out what time I'm going to leave work trying to get out of work early. I think, you never know. So this field that I'm standing on now, that's to the back of our house, to the front of our house. I guess where the front door of our house is, that's got to be the front of the house, right? So the field to the front of the house, this one always grows quite well up at the top here. And then as we get further down in that direction, it doesn't grow as well. So hopefully this is going to remedy that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah, look at all of that. I'm about to get covered in sheep poo. You know, it still amazes me at how hot this stuff gets when it composts. It's obviously the bacteria that are breaking it down generate heat. And in fact, when you make hay bales, so when all of the grass is grown and we bale it up into hay bales, if those hay bales have too much moisture inside, if you wrap them up tightly, they actually start to compost. And the heat of the compost process can get so hot that they can actually burst into flame. And I've seen that before. In England, we used to have farms surrounding us, and the one year the farmer lost like an entire barn because the whole thing just went up. But that just shows you, I mean, this stuff can actually get so hot that it can burst into flame. There we go, look, Eddie's found a little piece of sheep poo. Oh no, that's so gross. Dogs are disgusting. Look at him, he's gonna eat some sheep poo. Is that tasty, my boy? Is that tasty? Oh man, that's so gross. I guess sheep poo probably tastes like sheep, you know. And well, he's a sheep guardian dog. He knows he's supposed to do something with sheep, but he just doesn't quite know what exactly. So I guess he just wants to cover himself in the smell of it. Yeah. Wow, this guy's actually doing a really thorough job. He's actually reversed here because there was a bit of a gap. And if you see, as he's driving, he's actually watching the whole time. Because, you know, this thing's spinning, it's pushing all of the compost out, but sometimes there's a bit of a gap as it's trying to like move it all forward or backward. So he's keeping an eye and he's making sure that there's no empty spots. And Edmundo is doing an excellent job of eating the poo. Eddie, you're not supposed to eat it. We're supposed to keep it on the fields. You gross dog. At least it's sheep poo. There's something else that he loves eating, and it's really disgusting. It's cat poo, and you don't want to be anywhere near him when he eats a cat poo. It is so smelly. When we got Eddie, we wanted to come up with like a Portuguese name, you know. What kind of a Portuguese name? And you know, Jean is English. I'm kind of like half English, half Afrikaans. So we wanted a name that was kind of like Portuguese, English. So we came up with Eddie. So Eddie's obviously quite English. Then there's Edmundo, which is very, very Portuguese. And what Edmundo means, the actual Google sort of translation is protector of prosperity. And we wanted a dog, a big scary dog that could look after our farm if anyone decided to come walking around and they weren't welcome. Then we got a big dog that'll bite their ass. So that's Eddie, protector of prosperity. And I think it's an excellent name. He's off to get another load. The fields are actually getting covered really quickly. I wasn't expecting it to happen so fast. I guess it's this really big John Deere tractor as well. It's super powerful and nice and quick. That is an awesome, awesome tractor. Now if you ask Joaquim, he loves his Ford tractors. And I think Ford became Massey Ferguson, if I'm not mistaken. So the Ford tractor brand, I think, has been taken over by them. But yeah, he's a big fan of those. He's a big fan of old tractors. He doesn't like the new stuff. Anything electronic he doesn't like, because his old Ford tractor, he can basically take that thing apart and put it back together with his own hands. And I think that John Deere tractor as well, that old one, when you get old ones like that, I think it's similar. But as far as I know, the new stuff is, it's a real nightmare. You can't actually work on that. You have to bring it into the factory. The whole thing's driven by software. And if that goes wrong, then there's absolutely nothing you can do. I think even some of them have got like subscription-based models that unlock features on your tractor that you have to pay for every single month. And if something goes wrong, they have to come there and they have to stick it onto a trailer, take it away, and you're without your tractor for a long time, So, yeah, I think Joaquim definitely prefers nice and simple. But yeah, I think it's best too, really. At this time of year, the sky is full of clouds. But we got some really beautiful clouds just gracefully floating past us. And we also have blue skies. But it's amazing to think just how much water is actually sitting up in the air above us here. All of this water vapor just floating above us. It's like an ocean. And this is all going to travel somewhere and then come down onto the ground again. Amazing. In these cold wintry months and also in the spring, this is where most of the rain happens around here. And I think April is going to be like our rainiest month, just before the summer kicks off. But at this time of year, like everything's like really damp and wet and cold. And then we get these dry, hot summers where everything is just blisteringly hot. There's absolutely no greenery left. Everything's just dry and dusty. And it feels like it hasn't rained in like 6 months, sometimes even longer. All right, let's travel down the field to the next position. I'm sure he's going to be back soon. Yeah, and then after he's done all of that, I think we'll take the dogs for a walk. What is that noise? Oh, we got a big piece of sheep poo knocking the mud guard. I was wondering what was going on. Yeah, I still got quite a bit to do. We got this field in front, and this is a big one. Yeah, it is amazing just how capable these bikes are. I mean, I'm just one-handed cycling this with ease over this soft ground here. It really is a cool way to get around on your farm. You know, it's not like a quad bike where it makes loads of noise and, you know, like an ATV. Obviously, like you can carry things in an ATV and they're cool, but they're noisy and there's lots of vibration. Here I'm just on a bike, nice and quiet, and you know, I can travel anywhere around on this farm. All right, he's back. He's brought someone with him as well. Am I on the way? Oh no, he's just got to do a big turning circle. Bom dia! Tudo bem? There's always something really awesome about seeing tractors at work on a farm, especially when they have interesting equipment like the compost spreader or the hay, or like the hay baler or something like that. Today's Friday. I'm actually going to be filming like another video on Sunday, so I'm going to be going up to a place called Castelo Novo, which is on the other side of the mountain over there, just around the corner. It's a beautiful place. It stands for Castle New or New Castle. It's an old Templar castle that was built a long time ago. I don't know the exact dates, but the property that I'm going to be looking at, it's kind of like a rural tourism business. Beautiful old house. In fact, some of the stones from this house come from the castle. You know, after the Templars left, a lot of the villagers came and stole stones from this castle and built these houses. So I'm going to be filming this place on Sunday. That does depend on the weather. Like if the weather is bad, obviously I'm not going to be able to do it and I'll have to reschedule, but I'm really looking forward to it. So that's going to be a property video that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be on the channel. It might even be on the channel before you watch this. So yeah, who knows? I'm not sure exactly when this video is coming out, because yesterday I actually just filmed another vlog that you can watch. I'll put it up on the screen. So yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. Oh, look at these giant trailers, man. Herculano. It's actually really pleasant on the farm up until sort of New Year's, before January comes. And January is going to get proper cold. But it's quite nice outside here, as long as you keep moving, you've got something to do then, and you're wearing something warm. It's actually quite pleasant to be outdoors. That is until there's wind. If there's wind, then it's horrible. How cool is this? You can just cruise around through the olive grove, all over the place. I just have to be careful for potholes. There's holes here that Eddie's dug to catch moles, like that one over there. And don't want to get my tyre stuck in there. Right, so it's approaching lunchtime soon. I haven't actually looked at my watch, but my stomach's starting to tell me that it's lunchtime, or near lunchtime. So hopefully we'll be getting this done before that happens.
from Portuguese.
Yeah, so this is Antonio.
Antonio. My name is Antonio.
You are one of my neighbors. You are vizinho. Vizinho
Yes,
Solera.
yes, yes.
Okay.
His friend, the João with the
With Joaquim.
Joaquim.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
Friends. My son-in-law. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is friend the son of the Joaquim.
Ah,
Yeah, you
okay.
understand, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Okay. And you live in Solera?
Yes. And
Like Louricel de Campo or?
no, Solera.
Oh, closer. Okay.
Sul Solera, Sul.
The south.
The south. Yeah.
Ah, okay, excellent. Nice. Is this your tractor?
It's my tractor. Yeah.
Is this for the vegetables?
Yes,
The-
yes.
Yeah. Nice. Excellent. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Good to meet you. So Antonio was telling me that the driver of this tractor, João, he's been driving tractors for 40 years, which is pretty amazing. So as I suspected, he started driving a tractor when he was very young, probably a kid, and that's how he can get through, get through those tight spaces so easily. And then of course there's Joaquim, who's an absolute master on the tractor as well, like a surgeon. Now remember earlier I was telling you about the big weight on the back of the tractor, and he was saying it's to stop the wheels from spinning. Well, to put more weight on the wheels. Watch now as he pushes forward. Watch how they start to slip. And that's why you need those weights on there. So you can put that power down. Pretty amazing. And yeah, he was saying that he needs to buy some new tires, so he's going to get some new tires. I believe he said in April or something like that. And a set of tires is going to cost him 3,000 euros. Crazy. Hopefully the camera can hear me now. I've got my microphone here, and I've got a feeling that this top keeps covering it, and so the sound might not be great today, I should have probably put this somewhere else, or maybe folded this in. Anyway, hopefully that's better. I think Joaquim was saying, he was either saying that load's finished, or they are finished, because we are getting close to lunch. Oh, this load looks as if it could come falling off the side. It's quite tall. Good to meet you, and
Okay, yes,
I will see you soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ciao.
See you later.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Ciao.
Ciao.
It's quite surprising. Usually, when you're out in the sort of farmlands in the rural areas, people don't speak English. So obviously, it's quite a surprise when you bump into someone and they can speak a little bit of English. It's always nice. Most of the time, I'm obviously practicing my Portuguese, which is quite rusty, but when you've been living out here 5 years, it's nice to be able to have a conversation in your own native language. All right, let's get back to the farm. And I don't know, I think this is going to be like the last load before lunchtime, hopefully. Looks like the sun's going in. It's getting a little bit chilly. Come on, bicycle, let's catch up with this tractor. Riding one-handed here, hopefully I don't crash. But yeah, as I said, hey, isn't this a cool way to get around on the farm? It's not like you're starting up a petrol engine or making lots of noise and vibrations. You're just on a bike. It's nice and smooth. Hello, Edmundo. Yeah. What a day. I'm not sure what we're going to do for lunch today, but I'm quite tempted to go to a restaurant. It is a Friday. Go and grab something to eat at a nice restaurant. Maybe I can tempt Gina into getting some sushi or something like that with me. That'll be nice. All right, let's catch up with this tractor. Looks like we're going the same route as before. This is actually really cool. Usually I have a hard time keeping up with Joaquim on his tractor, and now it's an absolute breeze with this. Yeah, that is some good driving, man. Really, really good. Yeah, it's funny, Engwe gave me this bike, I don't know, like a couple of months ago to make a video. Obviously it was like a sponsored video, and they gave me that like affiliate link and everything. So I've already actually done the advert for this bike, but man, I really do enjoy cruising around on it, I must say. And I'm actually really looking forward to the next bike that they bring out. Hopefully they're going to be sending that to me too as well, so I can test it out and make a video. They've come a long way since they started giving me bikes, and yeah, this thing's awesome. So it looks like he's kind of halfway through this field between the forest and between the house. So yeah, it's quite a big field, this one. Not as big as the one in front of me. This one is quite a lot bigger, I think, and usually takes a long time. This guy was so quick that I didn't even have a chance to get the drone up in the air. I was supposed to film that. Alright, well, I've got to go for lunch now. I'm hungry. I'm sure Gina's going to love the suggestion of going for some sushi. We found an awesome sushi place. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Obviously, I'm going to try and come back and see if I can do some more filming when they do like the tilling to till all of this stuff into the soil. And then obviously plant the seeds. And then I update you guys all throughout the growing season. And then you get to see all the flowers. You get to see all that awesome stuff. But for now, this is where we love you and leave you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. I always find it interesting whenever I see these things. And we'll see you, yeah, next week. All the best. Ciao.